Hi guys, welcome to the Eternal Quest Tarot. Thank you so much for being here, for choosing to watch this video. I really appreciate your support and your presence on my very new YouTube channel. For those of you that have subscribed to my channel, a special shout out and a special thank you. Again, I'm very grateful if you did decide to stay back and keep an eye on any of the readings that come up and that catch your interest. So if you are subscribed and you've watched my channel before and interacted with me before, you might have noticed, or like maybe you haven't, which is fine, but I haven't posted a video in a while, and there are a couple of reasons for that. First of all, like my personal life, it just got really busy. Several things happening, several things coming up, and so I couldn't really find my center and really, sit down and film a reading. I just didn't feel like it, is what I'm trying to say. And the other reason is that in this season, which is, the beginning of summer season in Canada, I have severe pollen allergies, and pollination is going on in nature, and I have to take anti-allergy medications which do make me drowsy, even though they are the non-drowsy kinds. But I think that's it doesn't work for me, let me just say it that way. Don't know how much truth is in the non-drowsy part, but they still kind of made me quite groggy, and I felt quite out of it, like I was walking underwater, even when I was wide awake. So in a state of mind like that, when I'm feeling like groggy and all that, I felt like it affected my tarot reading skills. So didn't want to put out any content just for the heck of it, and wanted to do it only when I felt much better. So here I am. And today, from the title of the video, you must have already seen, we are asking spirit advice on your career path, and whatever you are tackling and dealing with in your situation, in your career. We are going to take a look into what is going on, what things you might want to think about, to consider, and how to better align yourself to your career goals. So that's the intention for today's reading, and I have 3 piles here to choose from. Now the rocks might look somewhat different, but these are collected from the lakeshore. There was a potluck picnic a few weeks ago, to which I did go, and there was a little girl there who was interested in collecting rocks at this lakeshore, and so was I, and we formed a friendship, and we had a good time doing that activity. So these rocks remind me of my time spent with that girl, and just the event, which was really fun. Anyways, so for my first choice for the 3 piles, I have this very smooth beige rock. Again, I don't know the names of these rocks because I collected them from the lakeshore with the Shadowscapes deck. For the second choice, I have this black and white gray speckled rock with the Housewives Tarot. For my third choice, I have this pink and black and beige rock with the Raven Tarot. So whichever one calls out to you, go by your first instinct, and I will have the timestamps down in the description box, so you can click on them and it will take you straight to your reading. Okay, I'll see you at your reading. Hello pile 1 people. For those of you that chose the smooth beige rock and the Shadowscapes tarot deck, this is your reading. So we are going to start by looking into the situation, the work situation that you are currently dealing with, that you are in the midst of, and at least that's the intention that I'm setting to draw the cards to start with. And then we are going to go into oracle messages. We are starting with the Page of Cups. Then we are going to go into oracle messages for some deeper insight and advice, okay? So as I was saying, that's the intention that I'm setting, but sometimes, as you know, Spirit has a mind of its own or plan of its own, and whatever you need to know, if it's different than the intention that I set, that's the thing that comes up, and we are going to fully allow and embrace that. And then we have the Ten of Cups. Awesome. So what does pile 1 need to know about their work situation? What does pile 1 need to know? What's the advice? We have Seven of Swords. Okay. Sorry about fidgeting with the cards. I'm just one of those readers that like to see that the spread is looking good. Okay, these two flipped over, so I'm going to take them. We have the Empress and we have the Ten of Wands. Okay. Okay. So just by looking at these cards so far, I feel like this is talking about someone who's doing the type of work that really resonates and speaks to them, and is connected to their heart. With the Page of Cups, the Page of Cups is a energy of a person who's not afraid to follow their feelings, not afraid to follow their heart, and more likely they are driven by their emotions. So this coming up in the work context, I feel like it is talking about someone who might be doing some kind of business, or maybe they are in a job, either ways. And you will have to excuse my nails, by the way. I know they're very shabby. I'm going to get them done tomorrow, I think. So anyways, I was saying, this is talking about a person who really invests a lot of their heart into their work, and the work that they do becomes like a really joyous thing and a source of great happiness. This Ten of Cups situation is feeling emotionally satisfied, something that really resonates with who they are or who you are if you're watching this reading, of course. So your work might feel like something that really is very very close to your heart, and something that you feel passionate about. You bring in a lot of your own personality, your own energy, your own heart. Yeah, your own energy being the central thing, you know, that kind of is essential or is your bread and butter. Like without that, I'm thinking of like artists, could also be, you know, tarot readers and spiritual, like doing some kind of spiritual work. Something that comes from you, like your energy is the driving force to the main activity, okay? And I feel like you started with the Page of Cups, and that over time there has been some progress in which you have gained tremendous confidence, and you have gained tremendous sort of power that comes from doing something on a daily basis and learning from it. Okay, and I feel like you have great vision of the future, where you want to take this work, which direction you want to head, and it's like this is the time where you must be feeling like full of ideas, you know, ripe with ideas, pregnant with ideas, and quite excited to go into this next chapter of your work life, where you want to bring in more, expand more, and do more. Now, with the Seven of Swords and the Ten of Wands energy, I feel like regarding your work, and it could be the way you do your work, as in the actual logistical plan, or maybe just excuse me, maybe just your feelings towards your work, they have somewhat kind of shifted. And the Seven of Swords energy and the Ten of Wands energy, I'll speak one at a time. So with the Seven of Swords, I feel like there are some aspects of your work that you absolutely either do not like, or you haven't really taken the time to develop, to think about, to connect, and therefore those aspects of your work life, of your career, I feel like they must be, they are coming up in this reading for a re-examination. Like Spirit is saying, you know, there are some aspects of this that you are currently not happy about, but you haven't really figured out what to do about them, you know, but they definitely do affect. Okay, they definitely do affect your creativity, the way you do your work, the way you relate to your work. So there is an effect of that, those factors that you're sort of really not taking the time to think about, to ponder on, and to resolve within yourself. And that's what the Seven of Swords feeling is kind of talking about for me. And the Ten of Wands is feeling burdened. Okay, so maybe there's a part of you that really loves doing, because I feel like you really started off with something that you really love, but now over time it has reached a point where executing your day-to-day work, planning it, or some things around it, okay, logistical things, as I said, they might seem like a burden. Okay, and it could be because you haven't resolved certain parts of it, not taking the time to like really thinking and feeling your way through those aspects. How do you feel about that? What do you think on that? Strategizing. So there's some things that you just sort of accepted for what they are and kind of became complacent almost with those elements. And now even though there's a side of you that knows that you have a lot of ideas and more creativity and more heart and more passion to put into this work that you're doing, there's a part of you now that feels really burdened and as like really tired. Okay, and because of this tiredness, I feel like there must be a certain amount of stagnancy, what can be called stagnancy, which is not letting you get a clear sense of direction. Okay, like where do you head from the point you are at right now? Where do you head next? That's the kind of energy that I'm getting. Even though I feel like this work, it's still something that you love to do. Okay, and we have the Judgment card. The Judgment is all about coming to new realizations, coming to or seeing things differently as you compared to how you saw them before. So some new information, okay, some new way probably of doing things, some new ideas, some new feelings are getting sort of like infused into your consciousness as we speak right now, and it's slowly developing, slowly unfolding. But certainly there is a new sort of perspective shift and a new way of looking at things, maybe a new way of relating to your work, new way of figuring out how to execute your plans. That is coming through. Like there are certain things and they directly impact your energy and your input into the work, with that coming up adjacent to the Page of Swords. Now, if you haven't seen my readings before, for me as a tarot reader, where a card comes up and falls organically in a reading, I do look at the adjacent cards, and that kind of informs the vibe of the card that I'm talking about. I think the light is too bright, so that's why I keep bringing it to the camera. I don't know how clearly that you can see. I'm trying to look up here in my viewfinder, and some of the cards are like completely washed out. So I apologize if that's the case. But anyways, the Judgment coming up next to the Page of Cups or adjacent to the Page of Cups, I feel like whatever it is that you have newly, freshly realized and gained new perspective on, that really directly impacts your creativity, the energy that you put into your work, okay? But things are shifting within you. You're realizing certain things that you probably didn't before. And yeah, so we have the Six of Swords and we have the Two of Wands. Okay, so Six of Swords is forward movement. So that coming up right after the Judgment card, there might be, for some of you, there might be a situation where you have decided to maybe change the work that you were doing, or at least move away from the format, move away from the delivery of whatever it is that you were doing. Like there's so many things changing. Okay, Judgment, like I said, it's just a new perspective. It's a fresh new seeing something with fresh new eyes. So I think what that has done for some of you is that it either is compelling you to leave behind the work that you were doing in search of something new, or you're leaving behind certain parts of it, okay, that did not work, and you're taking the best with you. I feel like, because I'm looking at the swan, the girl sleeping on a swan, and she's leaving all these swords behind. She's flying on the swan, and that makes me think, you know, there are certain positive aspects of this that you will always be bringing in with you, but you're leaving some of them behind and moving towards a planning sort of a stage with the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is all about selecting, deciding, and choosing, vision of the future, looking into the future, and kind of discerning, like, where do you want to go from here? What next after this? So yeah, interesting story unfolding here. Let me know in the comments below if this resonates so far. Then we have the Five of Cups. Okay, so the Five of Cups, I see a little bit of pain. I see a little bit of regret, dwelling on your maybe past mistakes or the things that you have lost. And the Five of Cups, the challenge of the Five of Cups is to not get stuck in this place, okay? To move on, because with the Five of Cups, the person focuses more on what they have lost versus what they have gained. So maybe now that, you know, things have shifted for you and you have come to like realizations, or maybe found some gained some new knowledge, have had the time to get some additional different information, that might have shifted, that might have made you think, you know, okay, I need to change. I need to change either my career, either the whole thing that I was doing, or massive changes are required in the future. And that might have put you in sort of like a resentful mindset. And the challenge always with the Five of Cups, when the Five of Cups shows up in a reading for me, I always look at the challenge. And the challenge here is not to get stuck in that negative headspace, to always remember that there are so many positives that you are bringing into the future, into the present moment, and into the future with you, even though there has been a massive shift of your own energy and how you felt towards the work, and that you're still kind of trying to discern like where to go next. Okay, now let me get one more card. What do my pile one people need to know at this time? We have Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so more work, more hard work, and actually putting in the work. I feel that's what is coming up, and it's something that you might also sense from time to time, even right now, that to realign your work to make it feel more comfortable and more resonant to you. Because I feel like with the Page of Cups energy, you always want to be doing. Like, of course, there is a financial need aspect to work, but what's important for you is that your work resonates with who you are, okay? So maybe you do realize, and maybe you don't, but Spirit is saying that there's some work, like figuring things out and actually putting in the hours, actually putting in the effort, the time, the energy in fixing and refixing your work situation so that it feels more aligned to you. Let's look at the bottom of the deck energy. We have the Three of Pentacles and we have the Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. So with the Three of Pentacles, and just by the rendition of this card, like, we have people working together, and Three of Pentacles is all about collaborative, like, efforts, partnering up with someone. And maybe you didn't have a partner before, maybe it was just you, but now, you know, because of things, because of the way things have shifted, that's something that you might have to face, that you actually need help, you need collaboration, you need support. So you might decide to, or might be considering bringing in partners and people and co-workers and colleagues that will work alongside you, okay? With the Ace of Swords, I feel like I really get the strong feeling that if this is the case, Spirit is saying that's a really good idea. Don't doubt the direction that your intuition or maybe your situation right now is nudging you towards, okay? This is a new beginning, a new chapter, and what's going to feel like a different way of being, a different way of doing things. But with all the yellow light in this card, and especially in at the top of this sword handle, which to me kind of feels like divine light, divine blessing, I feel like Spirit is really saying that if that shift is happening, or if things are being moved around and you are being called to do that, okay, either through an intuitive knowing or due to the circumstances that you find yourself in, I think Spirit is saying, giving you the thumbs up and saying this is good, this is, yeah, going to feel brand new, but it's going to infuse your work with a lot of new ideas, a renewed sense of enthusiasm, and just this input from the people that you're going to be associating with. I also feel like these people would be the kind that would gel well with you, that is like resonate. Again, you find your resonance with them in terms of work ethics, work style, the overall like overarching aim of whatever it is that you do, whether in a job or a business or whatever you have to offer. And you'll find that resonance with these people that you're associating with. They would have the same kind of attitude towards the work, and that's going to bring in, you know, that when you find resonance like that, it becomes easier to plan things out and things just flow quite smoothly. So I feel like you're going to find that if you haven't already, and if you're like kind of considering and, you know, somewhat in doubt, I feel like especially with this card, I'm getting the strong feeling that you should go for it. Okay, so if this sort of like story resonated with you, this challenge of like, you know, being and doing every day the kind of work that really came from your heart, that you felt passionate about, but now new information has come to light, and Spirit is saying, like, also with the Seven of Swords energy, that there might be some of you that are not acknowledging, okay, this need for change. So I mean, of course, the evidence of that need might be something that is, you know, quite apparent, but you might not be facing or accepting that in a way, okay, and trying to still run the show all by yourself, or just avoiding taking those decisions of whatever changes that, you know, you're being nudged towards. because I know that it can be a daunting thing to come to like new realizations, and knowing that there are certain things that you will have to leave behind. It's also retraining of the mind, apart from like retraining yourself to actually execute and put out the kind of work that you now need to do. But it's also like retraining your mind, and that's more of a challenge, I feel like, and feeling completely lost, like something, not completely lost, what I mean is like looking at what you have lost and feeling like the work that you have been doing so far is lost. And Spirit is saying that that's not the case, that you would find what you're looking for by, of course, putting in the effort and figuring it out. Like maybe put a plan on paper, write it out, get an expert in who can help you with the situation. And also, if, you know, for some of you, like I said, I feel like these two cards are talking about working alongside someone, bringing in someone into your work, into your business, then the Spirit is saying that that's really a good idea at this moment. Okay, so if the situation resonated, at least I would say, because this is a collective reading, it's not a personal reading, but if most of it resonated, then we are going to get advice for you as to how to navigate this situation. So I'm going to, first of all, I need a sip of water. I'll do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so I am back and we are going to draw. I have several oracle cards here, which is how I have been doing my readings of late, just laying out all the oracle cards and pulling one card from each of the oracle decks, sorry. So the first card we have is Just Breathe. This is the Four of Swords energy, okay? And the first kind of like advice, obviously, this is a very self-explanatory kind of message and something that I cannot, or I need not expand a lot on, but it would do you good at this time to really contemplate, really meditate and think about where you're headed next. I'm looking at the Two of Wands energy, and there is some planning that is involved into the future. And if you are feeling anxious, fearful about the future, then the big message here for you is do not act from a place of, you know, a negative emotion such as fear, anxiety, worry, and allow those feelings to dissipate, to go down, to fade before you make any kind of decisions at the Two of Wands place that you find yourself in. Okay, so this is, you know, managing, being able to manage your stress as you are shifting, in any kind of shift, any kind of shift. As I said, it's more of a mental and emotional exercise in keeping yourself stress-free as you navigate the changes, because transformation is really not, I mean, more often than not, I must say, transformation is not easy. So get to a place of feeling calm, and find your center, and then when you feel relaxed enough, you know, evaluate, like really think about the decisions that you're doing and make sure that the foundational feeling is not a negative one, like fear, worry, anxiety, etc. Okay, that's the first message that we got. Let's get some more from the Avalon. I forgot the name. Wisdom of the Avalon Oracle cards. I will have all the information about the tarot decks and the oracle decks that I've used in this reading in the description box below. We have Raven, magic, coincidence, synchronistic events. Okay. Interesting. So when I look at the Raven card, almost, I feel like the big message that I feel that is given here is to look for signs okay? Like as in the physical world that surrounds you, your 3D world that you are existing in. Look for signs. Ask if you're not seeing them clearly. Ask that you be given that ability to notice these synchronistic signs that will guide you on the right path, okay? And once you ask for it and become open for it, you know, it could be anything. Like it could be a song on the radio. It could be a sign that you see on the road as you're driving. It could be a line from a book. It could be something that, you know, conversationally comes up. So in this time, as you are again, like I said, in that 2 of Wands situation where you are still figuring out, you know, which way to go, which direction to head in. Spirit is saying that if you open up to, you know, receiving signs on your journey, they will become kind of like the guiding signposts and letting you know that you are on the right path. Okay, and so this is something that you might have already noticed by now, and if you have, let me know in the comments below what signs have come up and what they have meant to you. Again, a sign's meaning, the meaning that we assign to a sign, or to the symbols and whatnot that we see, they are very personal. So it would be interesting to know, you know, what you saw or felt coming from your 3D world and how you interpreted it. I would love to know that. But look for signs in your 3D world around you as sort of like a guide and answers to whatever it is that you're asking. Might guide you, also give you answers about the actual direction that you should head in. Okay, so let's draw cards from the Earth Magic Oracle. One card from the Earth Magic Oracle. What do my Power One people need to know for their careers, finance, work situation at this time? What do my Power One people need to know? What message do they need to know? Need to hear? Oh, we have perspective. Look at that. Milky Way perspective. So here's what this card means, you know. There are 2 things that are coming up as a message from this card. One is changing your perspective, obviously, about everything that you are dealing with right now. Okay, maybe, you know, the challenge, as I said, this reading is more for people who are doing their work in a certain way, putting a lot of heart in, putting a lot of their own passion, their own energy into the work, and then something shifted which gave them kind of like a new perspective, and they felt or, you know, the need arose where you have to now make some changes to your work life, to the format, etc., whatever, what have you. So the perspective on this challenge, which might feel like a difficult and a daunting task or even a confusing task, Spirit is saying change your perspective on how you view things right now, okay? Take this as a challenge that will align you even more to the type of work or to the level of success that you were hoping for. Because I feel like initially, even when you started with these cards up here, right at the beginning of the reading, there was a desire in you to make progress with the kind of work that you were doing or whatever it is that you were pursuing. But then, you know, before you could do that, there steps in a need to make these big changes. So Spirit is saying that look at what you are being asked to do right now as being aligned with whatever it is that you're wanting to create. Like you're going to get to your destination. Have that faith, okay? The other message that is coming up is sort of, you know, to always hold the perspective, always hold kind of that belief, that central belief, that is in line with your spiritual self. So it's literally, you know, we are in this universe as in the human form, but it's actually knowing that God is acting through each and every one of us, and everybody is actually doing God's work according to God's plan. So this is sort of like the higher spiritual perspective, where you don't bring in your ego, you don't attach your ego to your creation, to your everyday work, and really see it as something that Spirit is acting in your form. But basically, it's Spirit's work, it's God's work that is being done here. So those are the two very distinct messages. Choose whichever one resonates more to your situation, according to your belief system, your understanding. Pick whichever one you want, or maybe, you know, both of them made sense to you. And yeah, those are the two messages. Like, hold the right perspective about work, about your relationship to the work that you do, about like how you feel when you actually do the work, and how you feel about the results that go forth. This is, you know, kind of adjusting your own sense of ego that sometimes really gets tied in with the work that we do, okay? And Spirit is saying, you know, you're basically doing my work. I'm working through you, and I will get you, or like, to the destination according to my plan. So a little bit of like relaxation, a little bit of like feeling like Spirit has your back. Those types of feelings really come in when we start thinking from, not from the ego perspective, but from more of a spiritual perspective of looking at things. Okay, let's get one more from the Moonology Oracle deck. Okay, what do my Power One people need to know or understand at this time regarding the area of their work, career, finances? What do my Power One people need to know at this time? Okay. Believe in the impossible. Wow. Such a beautiful card. We have the blue moon. Okay, so at this time, Spirit is really asking you to believe in those lofty dreams that you have, lofty plans that you have, that might sound ridiculous even to yourself at this moment, let alone like others. But the kind of work that you're going to create, the big goals, the big dreams that you have, Spirit is saying that now is the time to believe that they will manifest, that they will be done, and they will be executed through you. Again, like I said, it's in God's plans. So when you look at a situation like that, when you remove your ego, suddenly everything seems possible. Suddenly there is a lightness where you feel like the doors that were previously felt like they were inaccessible to you, they'll start opening. Okay, opportunities that you didn't even think of, and or felt that they were too big to aim for, they come and fall into your lap. Why? Because again, it's Spirit acting through you, and when Spirit steps in, there's no such thing as impossible, correct? So allow things to flow through you at this time. Accept the journey, accept the path that you're being guided onto, and really have faith that your dreams and your plans are going to come to fruition in time. Okay, let's take one card from the soul journey as to like what soul lesson are you learning at this time. What's the big lesson that you're learning? What is the big lesson that my Power One people are learning at this time? What is the big lesson that you're learning? Whoops, acceptance, look at that. Accepting where you are, accepting the uncomfortable position that life has put you in, accepting the challenges. Bottom of the deck we have change, because from courage, acceptance and courage, those are the two ingredients that really are essential for allowing change to come into our lives. Okay, so courage and acceptance, these are the big lessons. Courage to allow things to unfold as they are, acceptance of your situation, acceptance of the difficult position that life has put you in, the courage to follow the direction again that you're being nudged at, and just knowing that you will be, as I said, believe in the impossible, you will be guided and you will be brought to the destination that you've always wanted to head into. Okay, see this challenge as sort of like a necessary step that will help you level up to the goals, the bigger goals that you had in your mind. Okay, before the challenge stepped in, and before there was like a interruption, a pause, and needing to go back to the drawing board, needing to relearn, needing to unlearn maybe. So see these challenges as not like an interruption, which they might feel like at this time, understandably so, but something that has stepped in and demanding you to level up, because you have much bigger goals. You always had bigger goals of creation. So that is what is happening right now. That's what the message is right now for you. So through any area of life, be it relationship, be it career, work, finances, our souls are continually on this path of learning some deep spiritual lessons. And our only responsibility through all of this, especially when we are going through stressful times, is to always keep the perspective right on the situation. Your perspective on life, your perspective about challenges, they will really make or break this journey. I feel like having the right attitude, having the courage, having the acceptance, they're going to be like the key ingredients that will allow things to unfold. And you will find later on that actually, this is very much what I have always wanted. This is the place that it's so much better, and this is Spirit's plan for you right now. Okay, so I'm going to leave your reading here. I really hope that this reading resonated and that it was helpful. Please let me know in the comment section below which parts of the reading resonated with you, which did not, because as I said, this is a collective reading, and maybe not every piece of information will be relevant, but most of it should have really spoken to you, I hope. If you're interested in booking a private reading with me, all my readings at this time, which is when the date this video gets posted, they are pay what you can afford. Okay, so the way to do that is to contact me on my email. Again, that information is in the description box below. And again, thank you so much for watching this reading, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Hi Pal 2. So this is for those of you that resonated with the white and black and gray speckled stone that I found on the lakeshore. This and the Housewife's Tarot, sorry. This is your reading. So I'm going to start with the tarot first, and then we are going to go into oracle messages. So with the tarot, I'm intending to get an idea of what is it that you're dealing with in terms of a career. What is your challenge there? And sort of take a look into the circumstances as they have unfolded or are unfolding. And then we'll go into different oracle cards and get advice for you in order to equip you to handle whatever challenge you are going through at this time. Okay, so with that said, let's get started. What does pile 2 need to know in order to align better with the career. We have the Eight of Cups. Okay. So Eight of Cups is walking away from something, having to put sort of a distance between you and the thing you're walking away from. And since this is a career reading, it feels like this is talking about you having to walk away from. Let's see what else the tarot brings up. I don't know what I said there. I was kind of in a trance, but yeah, it looks like a situation where you have had to walk away from work. Now we have the Knight of Cups. Okay. What does pile 2 need to know in order to align better to their career and finances? What's your advice, Spirit? Please let us know. What does pile 2 need to know? What's going on with them? Sorry, I'm just mumbling on my own as I draw the cards. Then we have the Hanged Man. What a funny rendition of the Hanged Man card here in this Housewife's tarot deck. I quite enjoy this tarot deck, by the way. Sort of the collage-ish, old school images. It's a quirky little deck. And when I first saw the images online, I instantly knew that I would really enjoy and connect well with the deck. Okay, this one wants to come out. Well, we have the Moon energy here. Okay. Oh, there's one more right behind it. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so the Hanged Man, the Moon, Eight of Cups, Knight of Cups. Okay. Interesting storyline here for pile 2. I feel like right now, at this time, you are either starting a new job or looking for work, okay? Two distinct kind of scenarios could be applicable to you. Again, on the view, I'm looking at the viewfinder, and these cards look crooked in the viewfinder, but not on the table. It's really funny, but I'm going to go by the viewfinder because bear with me. I'm just the kind who wants to make sure that the spread is looking good. Anyways, coming back to the reading. So 2 types of scenarios come through in this reading. Either you are looking for work or you've just started something new, that is just accepted a job offer, and that is after, you know, coming out of another job or another career, okay? Job, when I say job, of course, it could also mean like a business thing, like as in you were doing a certain kind of business before, and then because of a new idea, a new avenue being presented to you, you're either thinking of going into that or have just started working on it, okay? With the Moon and the Hanged Man energy, I feel like for most of you, if not all of you, this could be a situation where you're waiting for work to take off after, you know, having walked away or quit your job, or, you know, just feeling burnt out. I'm looking at the expression on this lady's face in this particular rendition of the Eight of Cups card. And it's looking tired. Like, she looks tired and she looks exasperated and she looks done. Okay, so it could be that you were done with it and you were like extremely bored by it, maybe not stimulated enough, maybe it became mundane. And then with this Knight of Cups, I'm thinking this is talking about a new kind of avenue opening up and presenting itself. It could also be like you met someone, and this could be not talking about just a romantic relationship, but it could be meeting someone in your profession from the same area of work that you work in, or used to work in, and they kind of open up a new avenue for you with your business, with your work, with your job, with your career. But at this time, I feel like there is considerable amount of worry with the moon card, like the moon energy. When I see the moon, I think of triggers, I think of fear, I think of doubt, I think of worry. Okay, so all those things that they are going on at this time, which tells me that the Eight of Pentacles situation, you're still trying to find your place of comfort, or maybe you're just really beginning for this new thing to take off, which would correlate with the Hanged Man energy. Like things are stagnant right now, and you're sort of waiting for it. Whoops, I'll be right back. I'm getting a phone call. Thank you for bearing with me. So I'm back. As I was saying, like with the Hanged Man energy, things might have stagnated and not moving fast enough or at the pace that you would like, and you're still waiting for things to make sense. Okay. There's also a possibility that for this new avenue and this new career, at this time you are being asked to undergo like some sort of training, and getting new learning under your belt, and you could be doing that before you leap into this new area of work. And the new area of work is, I feel like, related, okay, because I'm looking at the cups and the plates here. So it's somewhat related, but also different, if that makes sense, okay? So if the scenarios that I just sort of described for this pile, if they resonate, then this is your reading. Otherwise, probably pick some other pile and see if that resonates with you, okay? So let's get some more cards to see what's going on. We have the Five of Wands. Okay. So the Five of Wands represents conflict. Okay. And with the Five of Wands, we also have the Nine of Pentacles. With the Five of Wands coming up adjacent to the Eight of Cups, which if you've seen my readings before this, you would know that for me as a reader, it's kind of important, and I look at where the card falls organically, like in the reading, and wherever I place it, like without planning, which is picking them up and placing them in a certain order. So anyways, wherever the card falls organically, I look at the adjacent cards and I look at the energies there, and they also inform the card that I am reading. So with the Five of Wands coming up as an explanation for Eight of Wands, I feel like there was a lot of conflict that might have surrounded your old work situation, sort of became the reason why you had to quit, or why you chose to walk away, okay? Why you were unhappy with the position or with the job or the work that you were doing. I also feel like, looking at the rendition of this Five of Wands in this particular tarot deck, I also feel like maybe a lot of work, like you were overworked. It was expected of you to just put in a lot of hours, maybe, or like taking up a lot of responsibility, and that might have felt unfair for you. So that comes up as a very distinct reason. The Five of Wands can also talk about conflict between like the people that you're working with, so your co-workers, your bosses, and anybody else who had sort of a direct or indirect influence on the kind of work that you did. Okay, so the Nine of Pentacles, that coming up with the as an explanation or a clarifying card for the Knight of Cups. I feel like when you decided to move out of the work situation, okay, you were in. Oh, and as I was saying, like if this is a business that this is referring to, then this could mean the exact same thing, but apply it in a business scenario. Okay, so with the Nine of Pentacles coming up as the explanation or elaboration for the Knight of Cups, I feel like you had reached a point where you wanted to do something new, and this opportunity that presented itself, it could be in the form of a person, in the form of a business idea or whatnot, but it more so feels like a person that stepped in and that felt passionate about what they are talking about. That might be applicable to most of you, if not all of you, but or maybe it was a business, a business that wanted to hire new people, and they were quite passionate and they were quite enthusiastic about what is it that they were offering, and that at the time looked like a good opportunity. I feel like it made you feel like more empowered, and like you would have more opportunities to prove yourself. The work looked manageable, if not easier, but like as in having more tools at your disposal to do that, a better place, a better work environment. So yeah, it was quite a hopeful thing, I feel like, and you wanted to, or you want to, I'm saying wanted to as if this is all in the past, but it could be like an ongoing situation. So I do apologize for speaking of all of this, that as if it's all in the past, but yeah, the opportunity must have sounded like really great, and you're trying to either like go for it at this time or have just opted for it, and that's the situation that you're dealing with at this time, Spirit is saying. So yeah, let's get some more cards. I don't know why I put down the deck as if I was done reading. So what do my pile 2 people need to know? What is going on with pile 2 and their career, work situation? Because the story that the tarot tells so far has been quite interesting up to this point, and then we have this Hanged Man energy. So let's get some clarification on that. We have the Emperor. Okay, another major arcana card coming up as the clarifying card for the Hanged Man. All right. For some of you, this could be talking about actually like work in the food industry or sales, like a sale opportunity. You know how they have, I don't know what they're called, but pyramid programs, or like multi-layer or tier program or something like that. Like that's the feeling that I'm getting from this card, the Emperor card, that is, just because of the way it has been designed. Whoops. Okay. We have the Two of Pentacles. Okay. That's coming up as the explanation or clarification for the Moon energy there. What do my pile 2 people, Hanged Man people, I was going to say. What do my pile 2 people need to know at this time, and what's going on with their career situation? Okay, this flipped up quite strongly. So we have the Lovers. Okay. So we have the Emperor, the Lovers, the Moon, the Hangman. So 4 major arcana cards in this reading, which tells me like this is quite an intense and important phase of your life. And what I mean by that, important as in a phase through which you're being challenged, and you're learning a lot, okay? So, as I said, the Emperor came up as an explanation or clarification for the Hanged Man card, which is, I feel like things have come to a standstill, and regardless of what traditionally the Emperor means, from this rendition of the card, I feel like things are still coming together, as in it could be like waiting for more instructions to come in, or waiting to understand the job even more. As I said, I feel like there is some training involved in this new opportunity. Okay, so you might be waiting for that call, or waiting for that confirmation over something that will sort of propel you into the actual position or actual work situation. I don't know, but that is the very specific kind of message that I'm getting. You might be waiting to hear from maybe your bosses, like higher ups, and waiting for that approval for this position, for your position to come in. Okay, and in the beginning, as I said, I'm getting the vibe that this could be about, this could be job related to sales, and could be in the food industry. That's if that's relevant for you, but of course, like it doesn't have to, and that's quite narrow. I understand that, but I kind of got the feeling of just looking at the can of beans and peas, and that kind of captured my attention. In the Emperor card. With the Moon energy, as I said, you are in a place where all your worries and all your fears about the future is being triggered. With the Two of Pentacles coming up as the explanation card, or the clarifying card for the Moon, I feel like you might be feeling worried about just juggling finances, okay? Because of course, like we all have financial commitments, we all have people depending on us, and you might be in a place where you need to find or like start earning your money at a particular time or by a particular date. And if that doesn't happen, then it's going to be very difficult for you to manage everything, and probably like dipping into your savings, or something like that, like borrowing money from friends, family. But this is the kind of like, how am I going to juggle my finances if this opportunity doesn't take off, and it doesn't start generating the income that it first promised. With the Lover's energy coming up as the Eight of Pentacles card, so like I said, with the Eight of Pentacles, two messages that I got, that you're still trying to learn the work and trying to get the hang of it, trying to understand deeply, fully, and perfectly like what you're supposed to do. So there's still sort of like I don't know why, but I feel like there's still a little bit of more journey, if that first, the scenario where you're still waiting to get the hang of it. There might be still some time before it really feels like a perfect match for you, okay? For some of you, it already does feel like a perfect match with the Lover's energy and the Eight of Pentacles. So that's the kind of hope, okay, that you had, that this work would be more resonant. I would find more resonance with this new thing that I'm doing. And you might have already found that, but some of you are, I feel like, headed towards that and wanting to get to that feeling. I don't know why. Okay, so we have bottom of the deck energy, we have the Eight of Wands. So with the Eight of Wands, I feel like rapid changes and messages, if you have been waiting with this Hanged Man energy for things to start moving. Spirit is saying that that's going to happen soon, and this is this Hanged Man, and waiting to hear from like the higher ups in the business, probably, or like from your bosses, waiting for clarification and whatnot. That's something that is going to change quite quickly. And when it does change, like, you will suddenly find yourself to be extremely busy, okay? Like, busy times are coming up ahead. We also have the Page of Pentacles here. So the Page of Pentacles, like I said, for some of you, I did get the feeling that you are quite new to this work style, or maybe this workplace, or the actual work that you do, and it's kind of like a learning journey for some of you. So apply it and take it as it resonates. Okay, so this is kind of like the work situation. I feel like the challenge or circumstance that you're dealing with in your career. The most challenging part of this reading are these 4 cards. I feel like the Hanged Man, the Moon, the Emperor, which to me in this case represents people who are can be called your bosses, higher up in the workplace hierarchy, and people who are more in charge of like defining your work role and controlling a lot of elements with that, and then worrying about when this would take off, when this would start generating income, because you have transitioned from something that you were doing but kind of sick of and hopeful about the future, but it's come to sort of like a standstill at this point of time. Okay, so I'm going to go into the oracle cards. And get some advice for you. And get some advice for you as to what you should be keeping in mind as you are dealing with this situation. Okay, so I have a whole bunch of oracle decks on the right hand side here, which is how I have been doing readings lately. Drawing one card from several oracle decks just to get sort of like an energy snapshot, and also when it comes to like the advice part of the reading, I'm feeling very called to do that instead of just bringing in one oracle deck. Anyways, what's the advice for pile 2 people in context of the situation that they are dealing with? With the 8 of Wands and the Page of Pentacles, I feel like with the 8 of Wands especially, which came up as one of the first cards from the bottom of the deck, I feel like if you have been waiting for movement and for things to change, feel assured that that's going to happen quite soon. So if that has been one of your worries, I think you can pretty much put that to rest. We have blossoming. Okay, so blossoming is all about, as a flower blossoms, opens up slowly, gradually, and this is, this card is giving me the vibe of someone who is coming into, excuse me, someone who's coming into their power slowly but surely and finding their place. So like growing through whatever situation they are in, which in this case, of course, is a career situation. So Spirit is saying that this time can feel like it's going slow, can feel that it's going it's like quite uncomfortable. But not to worry, not to take that to heart, because this is the time that you are slowly but surely blossoming. Okay, it's always a gradual process. Think of a flower that opens up, think of a flower that blossoms. It takes a few days, a few hours sometimes, but point is that it's a gradual step-by-step process, and none of the steps can be skipped. Okay, let's take a look at another oracle deck and see what message comes through for you at this time. What do my pile 2 people need to know and look at and keep in mind as they are navigating this work situation? We have nurturing with Gaia, if that is how the right pronunciation. I'm sorry, I'm not sure. Okay, so with the nurturing energy, this is about, you know, being kind, I feel like, towards yourself. That's the first message that I got. And also nurturing this dream, okay? Your talents, your capabilities, nurturing really the dream that you are in the process of creating in your life. And Spirit is saying that you are right now being called to have faith as, you know, things are unfolding. And not only that, but to pay attention to what it is that you are creating. So the elements of that, the details of that, because that's very important when we are trying to manifest, for example, the kind of life that we want. The more clear you get, okay, about everything that you want now in this situation, because okay, now it makes sense, because you are transitioning, coming out of a job or a career that you didn't resonate with and that you didn't like. So going further, Spirit is saying take this time to get clear about what is it that you want, okay? And nurture the dream, nurture your talents, have faith in yourself, kindness, self-love, directing all that towards yourself, having faith, which will, of course, keep your confidence level high, okay? Know that you are taken care of. That's also one of the messages that I got right now at this point, as you are dealing with the unsurety and things being stagnant and not a lot happening. Spirit is saying, know that you are being taken care of, that it's all going according to plan, actually, okay? All right, let's take from the Monology Oracle. What do you need to know at this time to navigate this career challenge? What do Pile 2 people need to know at this time to navigate the career challenge? The end of a tough cycle approaches. Wow, look at that. All right. So as I was saying, if there are things that you have been waiting for to happen, Spirit, this is like the second confirmation in this reading. Spirit is saying that worry not, that's going to happen pretty soon. Okay, things are going to start moving. And now this card makes more sense, like being kind to yourself and taking care of yourself, because I feel like tackling this hanged man energy where things have come to a stagnation, or feels like they have come to a stagnation to you at this time, and the moon energy, now it makes sense, like Spirit saying, you know, take care of yourself and nurture your dream and have faith and all those messages. It makes sense. It feels like you have been more stressed, especially with this moon energy. It could be it can be quite triggering and also stressful. So, and for some of you, it might have affected the sleep just with that rendition of the moon card in this Housewife's Tarot deck. Oh my God, I can't pick up these cards. Okay. So, Spirit is saying, hang on there, hang in there. A tough cycle that you have been dealing with is coming to an end pretty soon, because even in your previous work situation it was not really going great, and that's why you chose to transition into this new thing, right? And now that those plans, if they have come to some sort of a standstill, with you having to wait for things to get moving, I can totally see how stressful that can be. Okay. But worry not, your tough cycle and tough phase is ending soon. Sooner than you think, I feel like. Okay, what do my Pile 2 people need to know? What a reassuring and uplifting read. I'm very happy to see those cards for you guys. What do Pile 2 people need to know? Okay. Alright, here, risk. Alright, so this opportunity, this new opportunity that you are going towards, and after having come out of the previous work situation, Spirit is saying that acknowledge that this is a sort of a risk that you have chosen to take, okay? And I feel like it's applauding you for that, for jumping into something that you didn't know how it's going to pan out, but you had faith in your dreams, and you had faith in your capabilities and your abilities, and that's what made you take a leap of faith into this opportunity. Now it makes sense, because I was looking, when I was drawing the bottom of the deck cards, I did see the Fool there too, look at that, the Fool. And the Fool is all about jumping in, plunging in without knowing all the details. Yeah, okay, so that explains the stress now even more. So this opportunity might be something that you're just leaping into, and still in the process of like understanding all the moving parts, and still getting the hang of things, I feel like. And you don't know as yet, but just by being in this position, I feel like it's such a brave, courageous thing to do. And Spirit, I feel like, is applauding your soul for having taken that risk, because, as they say, remind yourself of this, that leaving your comfort zone and going into something new is always going to feel a little bit stressful, depending on how big a difference there is between your comfort zone and this new place. It's going to still feel like a little bit of like it's stressful, to be honest. But without having sustained that stress, okay, and I'm literally telling you this from personal experience, without having sustained and kept yourself and taken care of yourself through that stressful period, as you allow yourself to blossom into this new phase in life, without having taken the stress and learned your lessons from it, learned about yourself as you navigate the stressful situation, there is no growth on the other side, okay? So you should be feeling proud, I feel like, right now, about yourself and how you have taken the leap of faith and jumped into this new phase of your life, and you're being reassured that things are going to change pretty soon. Whatever you're waiting to start moving, to get going, that's going to happen soon. And at the end of a tough cycle, and you finding your place and your comfort into this new area of work is going to happen, okay? So that is a beautiful reading. I do want to take one more card from the Soul Journey Oracle deck to see what lessons you're learning at this time, your soul is learning, because I feel like no matter what area of your life, be it love, relationships, career, at any given point of time, our souls are learning some deep, very important lessons. And sometimes we lose sight of that and we don't pay attention to that. So let's ask Spirit what you should be keeping in mind. Okay, what do my pathway people need to know about the soul lessons that they are learning at this time? Okay, we have abundance. Okay, so abundant. I am a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. So this kind of reminds me of the energy of, where was that card? Oh gosh, something in the reading, I forget now what I was looking at, but abundance, believing in your dreams. Okay, blossoming, yeah, it goes hand in hand with blossoming, as I was saying. Know that, it's a process of unfolding, and that you're going towards this new life, and you're going into it with a lot of hope, right? You're going into it because you want to feel like the Nine of Pentacles, abundant, self-sufficient, really like making more money, having more at your disposal, which is absolutely fine. So Spirit is saying that remember this intention that you went in with as you took this risk, as you took this leap of faith. Always remember. And because you set that intention, everything is unfolding the way it is, and it is going according to plan. Do not give up and lose faith in your dream and in yourself. Okay? So that's beautiful, kind of like refocus on the intention that you set out with. Okay? And know that you can manifest anything that you want in your physical reality. And the way to do that is not to react to the middle. I feel like you're in the middle of the journey. You're not yet at your destination. If you react to the middle and sort of kind of lose faith in the process and give up and not trust it, not trust the process, then that messes up thing and that delays your manifestation. How much is the delay? God knows. But by not reacting in the middle, through your faith and working on building and keeping yourself well, nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself during this stressful time, this is how you navigate the middle. Okay, this is the best way how you do it. Because if you react to the middle of the journey and look at it and say, "Whoops, I'm not there," that's not how things work, right? Your life is taking you to the abundance that you initially set out to be. Okay, discipline is the other lesson. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. So yeah, I really feel like we have some manifestors here with group 2, especially, whoops, it's all out of focus. And we have the lesson of death, which is about change. Of course, it does not mean physical death. Bottom of the deck energy, we have freedom. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so as I was saying that we do have some manifestors, I feel like in this pile particularly, who have made some changes to their lives with the desire, with the hope of getting to their destination and getting what they want. So as I was saying, like this involves a process of keeping your mind focused on the intention, okay? And that means, in other words, not to get distracted by the middle, not to get triggered by everything that is going wrong in the middle. And what seems like, like your dream is never going to get realized. Sometimes it does feel like that, okay? So discipline is, I feel like, talking about the discipline of the mind. It could also be talking about actual disciplinary changes that you need to make in terms of like your day and how you are going to be living now, like as you walk into this new chapter. So it could be talking about that, but I feel this is more about mental discipline. And death. I'm coming to the freedom card in a second. Death is all about endings, learning that endings are beginnings. So there could be part of you that might feel like a sort of regret that you gave up the job, or you stopped doing the work that you were doing prior to this, and because, like I said, there's a 2 of Pentacles in your tarot reading somewhere. Yeah, here we have it. And having to deal with the situation where you feel like you need to make a certain amount of money by a certain date, so having that pressure, it could make you feel like or doubt this chance, this opportunity that you took in going towards this new thing. But Spirit is saying that honor the ending and know that in order for this new path to begin, that needed to have happened in your life, and leave the ending where it belongs, like in the past. So death again is also a card of doing deep transformation, which I feel like this is what your soul is learning, these core lessons. And freedom is spiritual freedom. It's not the freedom to it's not talking about financial freedom, although I feel like with this pile it might also be referring to that, but it's also the core message is spiritual freedom. And what the card says, I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. Again, so this is about having faith in your dream, having faith in yourself, and knowing that despite the circumstances, what you have to do with the middle as you deal with the circumstance that you're in right now is learn how to discipline the mind, learn how not to give up, learn how to not react. Okay, and when I say react, it's like replaying your old reactions. Okay, keeping the focus on the intention that you set out with in the first place, and knowing that you already do deserve that because you are a limitless being and you can manifest it really that easy as long as you don't react to the middle. So that's the kind of like spiritual freedom and power I feel like your soul is seeking at this time and trying to teach you through this career challenge that you are in right now. Okay, so I'm going to leave your reading here. I really hope that this was helpful and that it resonated. Please let me know in the comments below how this was applicable to your situation, if it was. And like I said, this is a collective reading, and not all of the points, but most of the points should make sense to the group that is watching Pile 2's reading. If you're interested in booking a private reading with me, all my private readings are pay what you can, afford to pay for them at this time, and the format of course would be very similar, a video reading format. And yeah, so the way to do that is to send me an email. That email is listed down below. And thank you so much for watching, for being here, and I will see you in my next reading. Bye. Hi Pile 3, so this is for those of you that resonated with the pink and gray stone that I found at the lakeshore with the Raven Tarot. This is your reading. So we are asking today Spirit's advice for your work and career. The first part is going to be working with the tarot or drawing the tarot cards and looking into the situation that you might be dealing with at work and the challenge itself. That's how the readings so far for Pile 1 and Pile 2 have panned out, in which whatever that they are dealing with, the situation that has come up in the tarot reading part, and then we'll move to the oracle cards and get some specific messages for you as to how to navigate the situation, the advice from Spirit, and perhaps also look into what you're learning at this time through these challenges. Okay, so let's get started with the tarot. What does Pile 3 need to look at in the career or work situation that they are in right now? Okay, so we're starting with the Knight of Wands. What is Pile 3 dealing with? The Knight of Wands, full of passion, enthusiasm. It's possible, I'm going to wait for the tarot to tell me what the story is, the full story is. But it looks like, the start to whatever work and career that you decided to do and get into, that was quite a passionate one, like you felt very passionate towards it. Okay. What does Pile 3 need to know? Then we have the Ten of Wands. Okay. Things quickly got really stressful. This is a card of being burdened, being overworked, overwhelmed. And we have two cards that are coming up. This is the Two of Swords. And we also have the Sun. Okay. All right. So kind of like these two cards that are representing the stress, the overwhelm in this Ten of Wands, as well as, feeling kind of restricted. I always get that from this Two of Swords, especially this rendition with the hands tied behind the back. And then there's a turn of events with the Sun. So let's keep going. What story is the tarot trying to tell us? Okay. And we have the Page of Cups. Okay. The Page of Cups, especially with, again, this rendition of the Page of Cups and this particular tarot deck, looks like a small beginning, doesn't it? We have a potted plant and we have the first sprout, almost like piercing the earth and coming out. So new inspiration, new beginning. But I'm going to be honest, the Sun card is kind of confusing me. It feels like, let me see intuitively as I meditate on the card that I get from it. Okay, this one wants to come out. We have the Hanged Man energy here. Okay. What does pile 3 need to know about their career and work situation? Then we have the Wheel of Fortune energy. Okay. What does pile 3 need to know about their work and career situation? What should they be looking at? What's going on? What's the challenge that they are facing at this time? Okay. Whoops. Then we have the 5 of Swords. Okay. So the clarifying card, the bottom row, is kind of the intention that I'm drawing the clarifying cards is to get more on the top row of cards, and kind of an additional explanation and clarification. So what does pile 3 need to know about their work and career situation? Okay. Okay, we have the Ace of Wands. Okay. Whoops. What does pile 3 need to know? And we have the Magician in reverse. Okay. Okay. So what I think is going on here, bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Cups energy. Okay. So again, like with the way that this Page of Cups is represented, 3 eggs in a nest. Also with the Sun energy, we have palms kind of holding a ball of light, which is representative of the Sun. And we have the Ace of Wands, a fiery start, a new beginning, also with the Page of Cups. So I'm seeing transition, new beginning, okay, for you guys, that you might be trying to do or thinking about at this time. Okay, and I feel like the challenge is represented by these cards: the Hanged Man, the Wheel of Fortune, the 5 of Wands, 5 of Swords, 2 of Swords, and the 10 of Wands. So I feel like you started off in a workplace, or maybe like it was a business, so it could either be a job for some of you, it could be an idea, and that went off. You're quite enthusiastic, I feel like, about it, okay? But when you actually started working, okay, executing the plan that you had, or started work at the job that you were at, you had in the past, I feel like things started getting stressful really quickly, and you discovered a lot of like restrictions that you had to work with. The 5 of Swords is also an energy of conflict, okay, of being in conflict with other people, or it could be like a mental sort of like conflict within you, in which, with the 5 of Swords energy especially, it's the kind of conflict that there is no winning, because even if you win the argument, for example, if it is an argument, or if you win at something, it would still feel like you have lost more, rather than gained more. So that's the energy of the 5 of Swords. So it seems to me like there were a lot of like things that you didn't know in the past that were restricting, or that restricted you in doing your job, in executing the work that you wanted to do at the time. With the Wheel of Fortune, okay, and the Hanged Man energy, it's almost like there you are waiting, or have been waiting for a long time, for things to turn. Okay, for things to come out of this sort of phase that you might be in, where there are these restrictions and there's conflict, either internal or like with the people that you're working with. Could also be like competitors, if this is talking about a business, okay? So could be competitors, could be your colleagues, could be co-workers, but it's the kind of conflict especially that really doesn't have any, what do you call it, favorable resolution for you, okay? So feeling kind of stuck, okay, in the situation that you are, okay? But you have been hopeful, and I see that hope in the sun, okay? You have been hopeful. I also see it in the Page of Coins, actually, that you would be able to transition out of the situation that you are in and move on to something new. Now, especially with the Page of Coins in this tarot deck and the rendition of the card, and what the card looks like, it seems to me like there is an idea that you might be working on to make that transition. So moving on, whatever is coming up next, it might be a small idea, and a small start could have already happened. With the Ace of Wands energy, like it's a beginning, right? So with the Ace of Wands energy there and the Page of Coins, I feel like a small start might have happened, and there's hope. There's a lot of hope in your heart that this grows into something that would be a better work situation. With the Magician coming upside down in this spread, I feel like you're still at a stage where you're not very sure, like you're not 100% sure whether you would be able to take this idea with the Page of Coins and the Ace of Wands and, you know, develop it into something absolutely new and something that works for you. So it's still kind of in that limbo stage. You're still waiting for some time to pass so that you get some clarity, okay? And I feel like this exercise of transitioning into this new work that you're trying, or career that you're trying to make for yourself, has somewhat also been a mental cleansing exercise. So getting clear about your thoughts, letting go of your limiting beliefs, letting go of everything that is not stopping you, and just taking the leap and jumping in and going forward because of this hope and the bright future that you see for yourself. Okay, so this is a very hopeful sort of energy that is coming through for my pile 3 people. And yeah, the challenge here, as I see, the challenge that you might be facing is one, like feeling confident and powerful enough to execute this dream that you have in your heart, and also continual kind of like a mental, it's a war against yourself. I feel like the 5 of Swords is also giving me those vibes, like continually you have to keep your focus on what you want and drop whatever it is that is not working on you. So keep taking your focus away, okay? And this has been, I feel like this transition has been happening for quite a while, like because of the Wheel of Fortune, and you're really waiting for time, the tide of time to turn in your favor and for this plan to come into fruition, okay? You have been nursing it, you have been cherishing it, and really this means a lot to you with the Cups energy. This is all about that there's an emotional sort of flavor to this venture, more so in other cases. Like I know this Page of Coins as well, so it's also like an investment of actual resources that could be your time and your money. So there's that as well, but there's also some emotional kind of investment, like hope, with the Sun attached to this new beginning. Okay, so I want to clarify, or I want to get more on the story. I want to get more on the Hanged Man energy, the Wheel of Fortune. So let's get some more clarifying cards. What's this Hanged Man energy here? What's this Hanged Man energy here? But so far, if most of this story that the tarot cards are telling us, if that resonates, then this is your reading. You're in the right spot. Who's this Hanged Man energy? Okay. We have Judgment. Okay. I don't know if you will be able to see. Let me put this here and this card here. So we have the Judgment energy clarifying the Hanged Man. Okay. Okay. What's this Wheel of Fortune energy here? What's the Wheel of Fortune energy? The Nine of Coins. Okay, awesome. So what I'm getting from the Judgment card, especially like I said, the way that this card is represented or portrayed in this particular tarot deck. We have a book and we have a crown. Okay, so in the time that things have come to a standstill with your with your transition or your attempt at transitioning into this new work thing that you're trying to build for yourself, whether it's a job or whether it's like a business, I feel like you might have spent some time training yourself and gaining the kind of foundational knowledge that you need to do. It could also be actually going to school, okay? Going to school and learning a new skill and hoping to make your career very related to this new skill that you've learned. Okay, and the Nine of Coins, the Nine of Pentacles, is an energy. I love the rendition of the Nine of Coins in this tarot deck. It's like a rose in full bloom, and I love to see that. So the Nine of Coins is the energy of someone who wants their independence. Okay, so could be again related to like having your own thing as in like a business, or could be, you know, transitioning into a job that gives you more resources in terms of like financial resources, so that you have a bit more of an independence, which is what you didn't feel when you first started the career that you are in right now. Like the energy of that is coming up as, you know, something that has turned into like an actual burden to carry. There's a lot of overwhelm and feeling like you cannot move forward without, you know, effortlessly. I mean, without putting in a lot, tremendous effort. And there were also restrictions. So now you might be seeking, you know, that independence and you being able to call your own shots and not being so much in conflict, focusing on the thing that you like to do versus like, you know, being bothered by these other things that were present in the previous work situation. Okay, so I want to get more on the reversed Magician card, the lack of like confidence that you might be struggling with at this time. So I want to know more about that. What's this reversed Magician energy here? Whoops. Okay, the Hermit. Lots of major arcana cards. This was also true for, I think, pile 2 or pile 1's reading, or maybe both of them, where a lot of major arcana cards came up. So what that tells me when I see so many major arcana cards in the reading is that this is something that is spiritually important, and like you're going through a lot when it comes to this situation, and you're learning a lot of deep lessons here. Okay, so we have the Hermit clarifying the Magician energy, and it could be that you are spending a lot of time, okay, by yourself, pondering upon the details and the kinks of the business or the work that you are going to do, and it feels like there's more thinking going on than actual executing. So Spirit is saying, I feel like I need to say this, that with the Hermit clarifying the reversed Magician, it might just be a question of like going ahead and taking that step, the actual step in the 3D world, which is like putting in action, putting in resources into whatever it is that you're trying to create, versus just, you know, sitting back and thinking and planning. So that could be one of the reasons why you feel blocked, or the lack of confidence. It's almost like once you start doing and getting into the flow of things, then things become easier and you actually gain more answers and clarity by doing rather than by feeling and thinking. So the time to think things through, it's almost like that's done. Now the time has come to execute those plans where you might be feeling a little hesitant, okay, and unsure of yourself. Let me get one more card to clarify the reverse magician, because, you know, I almost feel like once you get out of your comfort zone, your shell, and really start executing that plan that you had in your mind, that's when things get, you know, easier and things flow. So I want to see what the magician reversed is, because it's kind of bothering me, like seeing that blockage there with your career and your plans. So we have the Queen of Swords. Okay, what must be stopping you is analyzing things too much, and also there's a sort of wounded energy that comes in with the Queen of Swords especially, and you might be thinking a lot upon, you know, the past difficulties that you have been through, the past problems, and you might be projecting that into this new thing that you are hoping to start, or the new direction that you're hoping to take. And Spirit is saying, you know, be mindful of these two energies in order to, you know, make this magician card upright, because these two seem to be like your blockages. Instead of really wondering if your, you know, the past experiences and all the problems that you have faced here with your previous work situation, what if they repeat? You know, that's how our minds think, and that's how they function. So instead of observe that, know that, you know, you might be projecting, and instead of feeling or allowing your fear to control you and keep you where you are, Spirit is saying that time now is to, you know, break out of that shell and just do it. You know, like literally that slogan, the Nike slogan, or is it Adidas, Nike? Yeah, Nike, just do it. Keep that slogan in mind, like just doing it, just putting yourself out there. Maybe this also means like you have to leave something behind, okay? This Five of Swords was giving me those kind of vibes, like letting go of something. Maybe it actually means, you know, cutting ties with your previous workplace, or quitting the job, or cutting ties with certain people from your past who might be discouraging and adding to this Queen of Swords energy here, I feel like, and making you question your capabilities, your abilities, and just your confidence, because your confidence is hit with this reverse magician card, I see. But Spirit is saying, you know, the more you leave your past behind and take a leap into the future by actually putting your plan into action, the more easier it becomes over time for things to flow. And just action is needed now, coming out of your comfort zone, and really meeting the world with whatever it is that you have to offer. Okay, so that's the challenge, that's the situation that comes up for pile 3. If most of it, and you know, not all of it maybe, because this is a general reading, but if most of it resonated, then please keep staying and keep watching. I mean, I'm going to draw some oracle cards now to get some advice on how you should be dealing with and handling the situation you find yourself in. Now, I have several oracle decks on my right hand side, and that's the format that I've been using for quite a few readings now, both on YouTube and the personal readings that I've done in the meantime while I was gone from YouTube for a while. Okay, we're starting with peace. So I'll finish the first thought that I was talking about. There's a bunch of oracle decks here, and what I'm going to do is draw one card from each of the oracle decks, and that's the format that I'm really liking so far with my readings. Okay, so we're starting with the peace card, and Spirit is saying that you have to prioritize your peace. Okay, so if, you know, for those of you that have not been able to get out of this difficult, restrictive, full of conflict, triggering, burdensome work situation. Okay, I feel like Spirit is saying that this is also affecting you, your energy. It could be your body, your mind, and Spirit is saying, that the focus that you should have, or you should keep focus on, is the thing that you should keep focus on is prioritizing your inner peace, feeling peaceful. And it almost feels like, you need to actively maybe bring in practices like meditation, breathing, whatnot, to just shift your vibe. Because like I said, that vibe is coming on into this new phase that you're trying to build in. So you're bringing that energy into this new venture, with the Queen of Swords especially energy being the wounded parts of you that might be dictating, that might be informing your ideas about your own abilities right now. So Spirit is saying that the first thing that you need to focus on, I feel like, is peace of mind and getting to a peaceful state. Okay, building yourself up, building your confidence up, knowing that everything that you have gone through, whether it's conflicts or whether it is the pressure that you have felt, that is not about you, and that doesn't speak of your own abilities to do whatever it is that you would like. Okay, that's one of the important messages that I feel like this peace card is here to give us for pile 3. Let's take one from the Moonology Oracle deck. I will have all the information as to like which tarot decks and oracle decks I used for this reading in the description box below to see it all. We have balance, spirituality, and practice. Again, the message of balance. Okay, balance being like feeling balanced within yourself. Like you might be coming like I said, out of a work environment that seems to have a lot of problems, and it looks in the cards that there was a lot of like toxicity, conflict and whatnot to deal with. And so now as you go into this new phase and want to make this transition, Spirit is saying get to a more balanced place within yourself. Okay, and balancing spirituality and practicality, what that means is, balance between being and balance between doing. So I said this in the pile 2 reading as well, but here's a perspective that you could hold in mind as you're trying to bring in something new, birth a new idea into this world. See yourself as a vessel that carries these ideas of the universe, and the work that you do is like you are working on behalf of the universe, and you've just become sort of like a vessel. So what that does is that takes away a lot of the burden and a lot of the like future thinking that we have to do. Once we realize that we are working on behalf of Spirit, on behalf of the universe, a lot of worries go away, because we know that whatever is planned out in your mind and through you, that's going to get executed, and you don't have to worry about finding the answers, finding the solution, and always knowing everything, because in time it will be revealed to you. Okay, and practicality is, again, as I said, doing the work, being present every day and just doing what is right in front of you and doing that well. Okay, focusing on that, because that would be taking things really practical, focusing on whatever it is that you want to focus in your business, whether you're looking at providing a great customer service, or even in your job, whether you're looking at doing the work perfectly, or keep meeting your times or the deadlines, that is, as best as you can, and just being practical, as in like balancing your personal life, your self-care, as well as the work that you do. So that creates a sense of balance within ourselves, so that we are not constantly taking in all the negatives that are going on around us, okay, in our work or business or career situation. and we don't lose our balance and focus and center, which is very important, I feel like, for pile 3 especially. Okay, let's get some cards from the Earth Wisdom Oracle deck. What is the advice for pile 3 people as they navigate the situation or work through this transition? Spirit, what do my pile 3 people need to know at this time? Oops. Okay. So we have invocation. Okay. Now this invocation card, it's talking about setting your intention, being mindful, and actually just being present, as I said, with what you do. Okay. Invocation, which is, you actually invoke the energy that you want to manifest or that you want to put into your work. So think about that. Take some time to think about how would you, or what is it that you would focus on as you do your daily task or do your work on a day-to-day basis. And every time you sit down to do your work, invoke those feelings, set that intention, and then continue on your work, knowing that you will be guided and that intention will be manifested. This also gives me feelings of like putting in your personality and your personal energy into your work, which is kind of important when we are trying to, personalize and find our comfort zone with the work that we do. So bringing in your energy, your intentions to the work that you do and doing it mindfully, being present with it, not really thinking about, the future or the repercussions of this and that and how is this going to be, even how this is going to be received. Your job is to do the work and forget the rest. Okay, while feeling peaceful, while feeling balanced. So work on this first, I feel like I want to say, and then when you actually put in the work in whatever it is that you're trying to create, do that with a lot of mindfulness and setting your intention on whatever it is that you want to create in your life. Okay, so really slowing down, taking the time to assess that and getting to a peaceful place, which could, as I said a few minutes ago, this could mean like really quitting your job and distancing yourself from the negative space related to this past work or career that you were in. Okay, so let's get some from the, what is this? The Wisdom of the Avalon. Oh, look at that. That card jumps through. We have the Bard. We have the music, poetry, myth, enchantment of storytelling. Okay, so looking at the musician, okay, that's just kind of doing its own thing, sitting under a tree and not really being bothered by these other people in the background who have, it seems like either coming in to challenge or like going away, but whatever they are doing, this is the energy of someone who is just so in his own elements, okay, and enjoying himself. Okay, as he plays his music and he does his thing. That's the energy that is coming through. Like Spirit is saying that, get to a place where you are really enjoying what you are doing. Okay, make fun, make your work environment the kind of place that you want to be in day out and time and again, and like for the coming years. Okay, and when you create that, when you create a workplace like that, when you create a career that reflects all those qualities and feels like your second home and something that you are inherently like so enjoying to do, that reflects in your work, and that kind of, insulates your energy from everything that is going on around you. So a person who's so deeply engaged with the work that they're doing and enjoying it at the same time, they are not worried about like looking at the competition or what someone else is doing, comparing with other people, comparing their progress. They're so engaged with what it is that they are doing at the moment, that all these aspects, they don't bother them. Okay, they're doing it for the love of the work. So again, like coming out of, transitioning out of a challenging sort of work situation, Spirit is saying, it's in your hands and your power now to create the kind of work that you would really enjoy. And Spirit is saying focus on that enjoyment and don't worry about the rest of the aspects. They'll just fall into place. Okay, so kind of this to me is like as if the message to you is to really know that you got this. And if you have been feeling hesitant and not that confident about starting this new avenue in your life, the message here for you is that you got this. You only need to cut off the negative sort of after effects of being in this situation on the left hand side, and bring in an energy of peace, of balance, of intention, and really loving your work. So let's see how or what soul lessons you're learning at this time. This is the Soul Journey Oracle card. So what soul lessons are my pile 3 people learning from this challenge that they find themselves in? What lessons are my pile 3 people learning? Okay. We have service. I feel good when I can help others. So yeah, thinking about what you are putting out in the universe. And you know how they say, when you focus on the service and when you focus on how what you're trying to do is going to benefit others, that's when you attract like more clients or more business, and it just happens very easily because you're so focused on how is it that you can help other people versus keeping your focus on how am I going to address this problem, or how I'm going to address that problem, or looking at competitors, for example, and this person is doing so much better than me and whatnot. But if you work with what you have and focus on making others feel good, that is enough. That is enough. Whoops. And then we have friendship. Okay. So this is, I kind of get the feeling that the people in your circle, okay, your friends, and collaborating with other people and getting their input, that might be important for some of you. And you're realizing that you can open up about your challenges, about what you're going through, to your friends, and also understanding that the people in your life, they might be helping you and contributing, or they will help you and contributing towards this new success that you're trying to create, and honoring that. Okay, not doubting their intentions, and not, because why I say this is because you're coming from a very like triggered place right now, and you might be just misreading other people and their intentions. So you might not receive the advice, the help that's being offered to you, and you might look at it as, that maybe they have some ulterior motive almost. That's the feeling that I'm getting. But drop that attitude and value the connections, the people that you have in your life, because they are going to be, you're going to learn a lot, I feel like, from them, which you will bring into this new business that you're going to do. Okay. And also networking. I feel like networking with other people who are a part of your community, like your career or work community, and getting their help, getting their advice is going to prove especially beneficial. Okay. So receive it with an open heart, and honor that. Let's get one last card. What lesson are you learning? peace. We have peace again. So I am a being of love and I release all negative energy. Yeah, so like I said, I feel like this transition is asking of you to drop a lot of things that are not working for you. That's not the traditional kind of meaning of the Five of Swords, but I got this from, the rendition of this card and the way that it was, the way that it's represented in this tarot deck. It's like letting go of the things that do not work for you and focusing on your peace, which is what the message was of this oracle as well. How to bring yourself back to a place of feeling peaceful, how to disconnect from the negative impacts, from the negative energies, which include like fear, doubt, competition, jealousy, conflicts, all of that. How to drop it and how to go back to feeling peaceful, feeling balanced. That is what you're learning through this transition, this career change. That's the art of doing that. That's one of the soul lessons that is coming up, because I feel like peace is quite central. Keeping yourself and your mind and your heart at peace, feeling balance is very central to this new work that you're trying to create in whatever area that might be. Okay, so that is all I have for you, Pile 3 people. I hope that this reading resonated and it helped. Please let me know in the comments below if it resonated and what your story is. I would love to hear that. Also, if you are interested in booking a private reading with me, all my readings are pay what you can afford at this time, which is like on the date that this video gets posted. So the way to book a private read, there's an email in the description box below, so do check that out. And thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.